Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And welcome to Big D Energy, live on location at Cherry Creek.
Big D!
Big D! Golf club, lots of stuff going on today. We are at the DSMA golf outing, and that's the Detroit Sports Media. And we're a part of the Detroit Sports Media, and they invited us out here to do the live broadcast. So we figured, you know what? Why don't we come out and do this?
Isn't this like we did this last year?
Yeah. This was like our first major outing last year as well.
First major outing,
yep.
All part of the journey for anybody out there. So, big day for us. I know that the Fat Boys, the heavyweight heads, or the heavyweight, Woodward heavyweights are out on the course. They actually... This is progress because did I see this correctly on the tweeter machine that they are in charge of a hole-in-one hole?
They are, yeah. So we sponsored 2 holes at this event, and they are out there mostly just heckling people. We'll see if we can get some of their videos and play them back throughout the show today because they're rifling them through, man. And those guys, I already saw Spence shirtless, and you know,
I love it.
It's a golf outing. We're in collared shirts, but they're still going to be the heavyweights when they're out and about.
You know, maybe the shirt came off. Maybe somebody hit one close. Who knows? They're
there
out
you
there
go.
having it. But, you can catch those guys here 5 to 7 on Woodward Sports Network, big part of the crew. So always entertaining. I can't wait to see what those guys have.
Yeah, well, my name is Stick. I am filling in for Neil Rule today. He is in Florida doing fancy Neil Rule things. Hello, ladies. Welcome to the golf outing. And this is Darren McCarty. And what's cool is they're also doing like an autograph auction on the inside, and we're walking through. They got Riley Green stuff. They got Spencer Torkelson. They got Cabrera. They got Hutchinson. And then, of course, lo and behold, the glorious picture that should be hung in the Louvre. It's D-Mac signing it. Literally, this picture.
I wore my
cracking
D-Mac
some
Olympic
dude.
turtles, so this sort of photo here we all might have because, you know what, Stick, we've had this conversation off the air. We have to get that photo in every household or man or woman cave or bar or restaurant that needs it in this great state. So we're not done yet, so all part of it. So somebody hopefully will pick up one of those for one of that today.
Yeah, what we got to do is really apply to the state and make it a part of license plates. If we could get that on like the left side of the license, you know, they put logos, they do all that stuff. Why not this? This could fit on the left side of a license plate.
Listen, keep talking. Keep talking. I love it when you have these great ideas involved in it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's been fun out here this morning. I mean, every mascot from every professional team was here, and they do this little chip-off contest. Ribby won it. He's from Fish. Do you know where Ribby is from? He's from what do you call it? The Jimmy John's Field. They have a couple of teams that play there.
Yeah, Ribby's one of the minor pro baseball that if you go out to Jimmy John's Field on the weekend, and actually stick to that. I drove by there. I believe it was Friday night when there was a game. Man, was it packed?
Oh yeah,
people going in, and what an event! And it's something that you should definitely check out if you're looking for a fun night out in Metro Detroit.
Yeah, it's a good value, too. You know, like sometimes going down to the big league ballparks get a little expensive. You know, if you got a family that in minor league teams, I don't know if you've ever been to a minor league baseball game. When I was living in Grand Rapids, like the Whitecaps do a great job. It's all about like the between inning entertainment and stuff like that. The ball game takes place, but there's so much else going on at minor league games.
Plus, isn't the in-house beer, like when you say it's more affordable or whatever like that, it's instead of $12, it might be $5 or $6.
Yep,
something affordable. So,
yeah, so go have a good time.
Your cup of tea going out there. I know that I like it because it's got that. The minor league ballparks all have individual feels, sort of like the communities,
right? And
I'm a big fan of the grass outfields or where families can go and hang out and have picnics and make it more of an event. So. They've definitely found that, especially in this state and I guess around the country and all the different minor league parks.
Yeah, and they even got like that team in Royal Oak, the Royal Oak Leprechauns, which is an even smaller version, but it's all a bunch of good players. So yeah, if you're a baseball fan, there's baseball to be seen. And if you know, like I'd even roll up to Little League games and watch Little League games sometimes because I love baseball like that, and that's like the purest form, right?
Yeah, the purest form, and let's not forget that Taylor, Michigan.
Yeah,
hometown has the champs.
World Series.
So, I mean, there is some great great young talent in all different sports in this area, and baseball is one of them.
Speaking of young talent, Joey is about to go out with the beer tub girl around this course.
That's always interesting.
Joey is definitely taking advantage of the talent.
And in true Joey form, I was privy to the conversation as they were setting it up, and she had to go stock.
Yes.
Go stock her cooler mobile or whatever it's called, and there's Joey right there helping her. True Joey form.
Good job, Joey. Joey's
Rhymes
the sexiest beer cart girl I've ever seen.
That's it.
The hairiest back of
it is.
Oh,
the HB.
tie it up.
Oh, tie it up.
Tie it up.
He's tying it up. The back, and not even in the front stick. He went with the back.
Well,
oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
Eventful here.
So how was your weekend, D-Mac? I mean, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I really want to talk about the overtime rules in Summer League basketball, which could be my favorite thing to happen to basketball in the last, 100 years. It goes to sudden death, so I want to talk to you about that. Obviously, Thursday night, the Red Wings had the draft, got a couple new guys playing for us. We traded for a goalie the next day, so I definitely want to get your opinion on that. But before we get to all the big sports stuff, how was your weekend, man? What were you up to?
My weekend was good. Let me try to remember. Obviously, Thursday night, get dusting the band off, and everybody showed up out in Woodhaven.
Uncle Sam Jam, right?
Sam Jam. So there's pictures all online and stuff like this. But I love cracking out the red coat and getting on stage there. So we gotta stay tuned. Grind to the band on Facebook and stuff where you can check out what we got going on. But made my way over to Muskegon, did a bunch of spreading the love of the great plant in this community. So the Canna Bash was out there. Saw Bone Thugs and Harmony, my boys TNL, and Trick put on the full band show. So was over in Muskegon and enjoyed yesterday. Who's we all know 420. Well, 710 is also the sort of the halfway point, the big day. So was up celebrating that. Played a little bit of golf and enjoyed my time. Watched some wrestling, so I was happy. But, I think you nailed it as far as the excitement coming off the weekend was what the Red Wings have done.
Yeah.
What the Red Wings have done. And I think that even to our conversations between Neil and I and Sam and Spencer about Summer League, the one thing that it really dawned on me is, you're not going to take everything and go, oh, this guy's this guy's that. But it looked different as far as the length of our team.
Yeah.
Like as far as what I mean by length is it looks like we can see that we're bigger, but it looks like we're longer, more around the rim. Obviously, I know Spencer was all his pants got a little tight on Friday or Thursday night, early Friday morning when Jaden Ivey's throwing alley-oops to Duran and stuff like this. But I think that what you're seeing is just like stuff that as the Red Wings start with their prospects camp this week, when you see some of the young guys come on out. Obviously, you got Kasper. I was showing you pictures of Sebastian Kosa, the goalie, of
how big he is.
But just, for me that played, and when I'm looking at video of this guy and seeing the size of him, when he looks respectively bigger, he's a lot bigger.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So to all this fact of you're not going to win games right now, but it's putting things together, and I think that this is a big time for the Red Wings organization, for Coach Derek Lalonde to get to know the players who are in prospect camp of what he has going on. I know that just seeing all the little things around this team is exciting. You mentioned trading for Ville Husso, another third round. Looks like Steve Yzerman's go-to move in the drafts is trading third rounders for goalies. So,
and you know what,
from St. Louis, and you know what? You legitimately have a combination in nets right now that legitimately can not only push each other, but you expect them to be what Coach Derek Lalonde is a strength is from goaltender on out, just like they had in Tampa Bay. So all these signs are great. Remember I mentioned Kosa?
Yeah. That's
a guy who's going to be pushing both of these guys as hard as he can. So there's competition in net. There's talent in net. Now it's seeing who's going to step up and there's opportunity for this team, and this is where it starts. It doesn't start in training camp. It starts in prospect camp. So anybody who's up there, anybody who's getting to see any of this, I know Michael Gentry, our extrepid reporter for Woodward Sports Network, will be on top of what's going on up there, and I'm excited to see. So
yeah, and I want to break down all of this throughout the show today, because I really like, after the draft you posted your video on our social media, and we got your response there. But I like to do a deep dive with you, because hockey, I love hockey. It's probably my biggest blind spot of all the 4 major sports. So I really like to get your perspective on all of it. And let's get to that later on in the show.
And what I want you to understand, Stick, right, is that this is where we're at right now in the Red Wing organization. I want to push, right? So I know it's not like basketball. It's more like baseball, where the guys you draft them, develop. But this is what I want you to see, right? So this year's draft, you don't need to pay attention to them until next year.
Right.
But last year's draft, you pay attention to them now.
Okay.
That's the Edvinsons, all the rest of the guys, the Soderblooms, the Vollanders, the guys. So instead of having, Ken Holland used to say they used to permeate, whatever like that in Grand Rapids. That's not happening now, because it's sort of a 1-year draft. What are you going to do in the meantime and come up? So the guys you drafted last year are the guys who are going to looking to make a statement this year. But we'll dive into more about what's coming up. But it's very exciting from my perspective.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited, especially to talk to you about it after the draft. And it was a fun draft day too. Down at LCA, they threw a big party. Shout out to my girl DJ Mint down there, taking care of the crowd, and it's good to see that buzz building. And speaking of buzz, shout out to Mulligan, and check out this Mulligan bag behind us too. So they're out here at the golf course. If you're golfing, make sure you grab yourself a Mulligan. That's
where we're gonna have to get the Mulligan updates on how many. There's got to be Mulligans flowing out there. And
yes.
I want to see. Maybe we'll get some live updates on.
Well, I went to a golf outing this weekend. Shirtless already? I went to a golf outing this weekend with my man Fish right there, Adam, and the lovely Maddie. And some mulligans were definitely had on the course. We definitely played better on the front 9 than the back 9. But, that's what happens when you're at a golf outing and having a good time. Fish, I got to give it up to Fish, though, man. Like, people look at this guy. He walks on the course. He uses children's clubs, his junior set that he's had his entire life. And he gets out there, and Fish is just a machine. I mean, he's not crushing the ball by any stretch of the imagination. But 150 yards straight. 150 yards straight. 150 yards. And in a scramble, he's the best guy you ever want to play with.
I mean, my driver was a little wonky.
No, but Fish, you know what? Guys like us, Corey Pavin and Fred Funk need guys to cheer for them too. I know they're a little older than you, but
I know those players.
Everybody else wants the Tigers and the DeChambeaus and the Bombers, but keep it in play.
Yeah.
Fairways and greens, baby.
Well, that's the thing. Fish leads off. He hits his nice fairway shot. We're in good position. Then me and Adam line up and, just swing out of our shoes and knock it 3 fairways over. But, it's a good strategy. Yeah, we're already in good position. And, honestly, we used a couple of your chip shots. You putted well. Don't sleep.
Whoa. I putted well. You were criticizing my putting.
Well, no. Here's the problem.
My putts are bad. I'll admit my putts are bad. By the way, Alice Westfall helped me short game chip today.
Oh, nice. Fish, we got to move you into the shade a little bit, too. You're bright as hell right now. But either way, Fish is awesome. Fish is awesome to golf with. So if anybody ever needs a fourth, make sure you call my man Fish. He is the best, and he will be there for you. Right, Fish?
I'll try. Try my best.
That's all you can do,
the problem with Fish's putting is he always leaves it short.
Yep.
So I'm trying to convince him, you'll never make the putt if it's short. Always try to go a little long.
Short or smack at 40 yards.
Well, that's the thing. You don't do it you got to at least give yourself a chance. I tried to explain it to him in the term of blackjack.
You need to work on touch.
Yeah, I tried to, like blackjack. Listen, if I'm holding 16 and the dealer's showing 20, I got to hit the 16, even though I know I'm most likely going to bust. But I got to give myself a chance to win. You got to give yourself a chance to make the putt, Fish. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I just have to learn how to putt.
Well, we'll get out on the course today.
Self-awareness, I like it.
Yeah, no, Fish is great. If you ever golf with Fish, you will understand. And let me tell you quick about our friends SMA, the sports marketing agency. They do such great things in the community. They have a podcast called This Is the F Word, dealing with fentanyl and how that is affecting Southeast Michigan and all around the country. So make sure you check that out. Go to thesportsma.com. That is thesportsma.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Let me tell you about our good friends, Odds Trader. As my man Fish says it, it's the bet station. And what I mean by that, you can go there and check out all the lines from all the other betting sites around the world, and you can get the best line for yourself. It's really like when you go on a travel site and you get the best price on your ticket to go somewhere. This is exactly what it is, except it's for betting. So go to oddstrader.com today for your best bet. Odds Trader. All right, here we go. Welcome back to Big D Energy. We are live on location today at the Detroit Sports Media Golf Outing at Cherry Creek. What official city is this, Fish? Is it Sterling Heights? Where are we at?
I think it's Shelby Township.
Shelby Township, officially. Oh, speaking of, Alex Mayer stopped by earlier because he apparently lives like a block away from here. So we got to see our old friend Alex Mayer.
Come back and you can wash my car while I was here.
Oh, I know. He details cars. Yeah. Yes. No.
Set that up.
It was good to see him though. I haven't seen Mayer in a while, man, and he looks good, and we miss him here at Woodward Sports, but he's doing his thing out there in the real world. So shout out to Alex Mayer, and thank you to everybody that's in the chat right now. We see you. My man 9 Drinks is like, how can a mulligan be out there and Stick hasn't pounded it yet? Give me time. I got to at least make it to halftime before I start drinking.
I ain't holding them back.
No. I try to wait till halftime because me and Braylon last Friday we had a couple drinks maybe before the show, and then things got a little weird. So I wait till halftime now. That's my strategy, right, Fish? All right, Red Wings deep dive. Let's do it. I see here on the prep. Can Kasper make the team? And I know you just started talking about. Listen. Don't focus on this year's draft. Talk about last year's draft that's coming into this year. But when Stevie Y was talking about Kasper, they were talking about how he's a very efficient player, not a dominant scorer that you were really kind of hoping that they would get, but he's a dominant on-the-puck guy who can create scoring opportunities for other people. Obviously, out of Sweden, that Swedish plan is coming through for the Red Wings. They are going hard at everything out of Sweden. But how did you feel when we got that guy?
Well, I know that he was on the short list,
yeah,
obviously, for Steve Yzerman and stuff like that. And you look at pedigree of where he comes from. The first thing you look at is he played in rural with Mo Sider, a few years ago. So there's some pedigree in the coaching and whatever's going on over there, and what system that these guys come out, but that Swedish Hockey League is the next league. Do I expect, could he make the team? Absolutely. Anybody can make the team. When you're the Detroit Red Wings right now, anybody can come in and step in. Do I expect him to? No, I expect him probably maybe to go back to Sweden and play one more year. And because you look at what it's done for guys like Joe Veleno, for guys like Lucas Raymond, for guys like Mo Sider in their development, and they only need 1 year there, right? You look at different guys, and this is where Steve Yzerman and his coaches and scouts and everybody get these players. It's about putting them in the right position if their next position isn't with the big club for progress, right? So you look at Jonathan Berggren last year that they decided to put in Grand Rapids because he needed to develop into more of the North American game or whatever it was. That's the guy you look, is he ready to make that next step? I look at the guys now, and this is where the systems come back, where it's not like baseball or not like it used to be with the Wings in the past, where a guy would get drafted and he go in the minors for a couple years, and then he'd have to wait his turn, and then suddenly 4 years down the line you see him.
Right.
This is like you're going to get drafted. If you're ready to play and they are ready for you, and they have it's not going to be a detriment to you developing, then you'll get every opportunity to play here. That's why I look at last year's draft of the guys that developed, because there's a whole bunch coming up, right?
Yeah.
But there are seats at the table. But what you look forward to is where are they going to go and develop?
Well, and that's the thing. You want them to develop. You want, like, the Mo Sider. That's almost the perfect scenario,
but you look
right?
at the perfect storm for Mo Sider. Backtrack it. Do you remember he played Grand Rapids? Then he went the next year after the COVID back to the Swedish Elite League. It's just because of the youth of these guys, too. So what I'm saying is that Swedish Elite League's really proving to develop players for the NHL as much as the AHL or anything else is. So it's so important in your system is where you go to develop these guys. Because understand it this way, right? What makes Steve Yzerman so great is not only because he can see talent, but he knows how to develop talent.
Right.
I'm going to put you in Grand Rapids. No, you need to go back to No, you need to go back to junior. No, you need to develop in college a little bit more. Right? This roster, he wants guys to come and step up and guys to prove him and do. Now, do you expect you're going to get a Mo Sider every year? No.
You hope.
You
You
hope.
hope, right.
But the pedigree is to development.
Right.
The other thing I look at, obviously, too, and this is to how Derek Lalonde wants to build his team. Now, he's told us through interviews he wants to build it from the goaltending outlet, much as what Tampa did. So you look at the Vasilevsky, the Hedman, the Sergachev, and the Chernak, which is their main four, is who are those guys going to be here for you? Well, your Hedman is your Mo Sider, right? Now, is this Edvinsson going to step up? Is this, your Chernak could be your Lindholm.
Okay.
Or your Lindstrom, Gustav Lindstrom, that you already have, the stay-at-home sort of type big guy. But you don't know. But what I'm saying, there's competition here.
Show Ryu King from the chat is saying, we're all witnessing the construction of a cup-caliber team. The real, he said the real one is now, but I'm thinking he says the real one's no. And do you feel that way? Are you feeling that momentum? And I know, like with Dan Campbell, you got the Dan Campbell clock, and when they talked to Steve Yzerman after the draft, they asked, hey, okay, so where are we at in your rebuild? He's like, well, I'm year 3.
I've been here for 3 years.
That was one of my favorite answers I've ever heard anybody say, like, I've been here 3 years, so we're in year 3. Like, I thought that was an awesome kind of like snarky answer, like, get off my back, let me do this.
Here's the thing. He lets you know after he's done it, or not dictated by. Obviously, coming up here on the 13th, which is Wednesday's free agency, right? So everybody's saying he's got to make a big splash, got to make a splash. What if the guy he wants isn't there?
Right.
He ain't going to do anything. So the fact that he sits on his wallet and doesn't go get that high-profile guy right now means that the high-profile guy in the Johnny Gaudreau or whoever else you think that it has to be because there's a guy out there isn't what he believes. There's always everybody always looks for what you don't have and what you're going to get. But with a new coach and different things like that, I also look at what you have and what made it into, right? And when Neil comes back, we'll mention about his guy Zadina.
Yeah.
Because I think this could be, you're going to find out. It's obviously if last year was make or break, this is even more. But here's the thing. He's still around. So Stevie likes something. Stevie sees something that we do, and maybe it takes the coach to put him in the position or the belief in him that we'll see. So there's tons of questions, but it's all positive. They got 5 centermans in the draft, right? They went out and got it. I haven't talked to Drape, so I don't know. But just from listening to the text messages, I think the guys are happy, with what they got. They got good players, and now they're up in Traverse City that doesn't waste no time, and they're hammering it out.
From a player's perspective, when the draft happens and you're a veteran on the team and they select a guy, are you thinking, all right, it's just business as usual? Do you have any investment on who they're drafting? Does it really affect you on your day-to-day? Or are you
as
like
a player?
Yeah, as a player.
You have no affect them, who you draft or whatever. But I think as you're younger, you look and say, that guy's not taking my job. Or if they draft a guy like you, you look at it as a competition. But that's the whole thing is it was like, for me personally, I knew that it was my job as long as I want. And then when other priorities came about and the salary cap came in and then the way things worked out, couldn't afford, then it wasn't my job.
So was there ever a guy that they drafted and you were just like, oh, man, I better turn my game up just a little bit?
Well, a guy like Daryl Bootland came through the organization that was drafted that played along the lines. Now, a lot of times, too, that's why in different organizations, sometimes when you go out and you make a trade for a guy and he works out in your organizations, well, maybe he wasn't getting the ice time because he was playing behind somebody better, so it's somebody to see the opportunity. That's the one thing that you see is I see Steve Yzerman building this team just like he captained in a lot of ways, and it's sort of like the E.F. Hutton model is that wait and when he talks, listen to what he says.
Right.
And it's all business. So he has a full grasp on how he wants to build this team. Obviously, I think that if you ask him, the second half of the season didn't go the way that he wanted, but it also let him learn what he needed to do for this draft. So the big thing is to me, isn't the guys who got drafted. It's the guys who were drafted last year in development and who's going to come up. But, again, all jobs are open, just like I would say that Mo Sider and then maybe Lucas Raymond with half of it are the only really untouchables in this team.
Yeah, I was just thinking, it's just as the teammates are sitting around, they're talking like that. Obviously, you're watching the draft. Is there like a moment where you're all texting each other like, yeah, we got that guy. That's somebody who I think could really complement our team? Or is it like,
I think as you're trying to develop and trying to build your team, right? When you're a championship team, you already have your team makeup.
Core, yeah.
Well, no, but you've won, right? So when you're trying to win or when there's conversations out there, I think picking higher in the draft, but obviously different guy. Yeah, because I would ask some of the younger guys that just played because these are some of their peers and some of the guys they know. So, yeah, you want your buddy or a guy that you know would work in the dressing room or in the locker room or stuff like that. So there is that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, with the Swedish influx that we have too. I know probably a bunch of the Swedes as soon as he was drafted, I was like,
absolutely.
Let's keep adding to this.
Well, that's the whole thing is where you know that this goes deeper to you don't have to worry about the character of this kid because everybody knows, sort of who he is, not here, but through the Swedish contingency, through, he was teammates with this guy, he played here, he played that. That's the big thing. And Swedes are like Canadians. There's really not a bad one.
Okay, nice. Well, I like that. It's good to
that?
hear. No, it's good to hear because, like I said, I don't know a ton about who we just drafted, right? I watch draft night, then I do my research afterwards, because I'm not diving 15 deep in the NHL draft.
That's not me either, Stick. Like all these names and stuff like this, because I'll just sort of make a phone call and say what's up, but that's our Ash Gentry. Because I like to know and I like to deal with the here and now and what can we do with the big club and stuff like this. It's very important for all these younger guys, coming up and stuff like that to build into the culture and to be interesting to, say hello and to learn more about them. But, I mean, wow. The reality is in hockey you can wait a little bit to hear the names, and once you hear the buzz, then you'll get on board because you'll know. But regardless, you know what? These guys are all drafted.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a place to get their hair cut.
Where are they going?
I'm going to go out to Traverse City and tell them, guys, Lady Jane's haircuts for men, there's 168 of them all throughout this country. You walk in, you sign in, you sit down, bing, bang, boom, there's the Kings. Treatment, they're all open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. So make sure you get in there, see one of those fine stylists, and look as good as Stick today. Lady Jane's, why? It's wicked awesome. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live from Cherry Creek Golf Club in Shelby Township. Be right back.
Hey, it's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency, and SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to Big D Energy. We are live today from the Detroit Sports Media Golf Outing at Cherry Creek. This is Woodward Sports. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. Darren McCarty is here, and we're talking NHL. The Red Wings draft happened last week, right before the weekend, so we figured we'd recap it on Monday. We brought in Michael Gentry as well. He's going to be joining us to talk, and I love how D-Mac, like, when you talk about Gentry, you consider him a knowledgeable hockey fan, right?
Does he work at the station?
Yeah, he does.
Does Woodward Sports hire non-knowledgeable people? No, Mike.
But he's like a specialist, right? Like we look over there at Jeff Iafrate and we think basketball,
guy.
Right? When we look at this guy, we think hockey.
This is my hockey guy too. So he takes care of all the intricacies and the ins and outs. And you know what's the beauty of it is I get to live vicariously through his brain as the younger generation. Michael, how old are you?
I am 26. 26
years old. So that means, Stick, is that where it really works is because this kid was a year old, right? When the massacre, March 26th and stuff went down. Now, he was around, but he doesn't have the concept. So I look at him like my son, Griffin, who's 26, having these conversations about trying to get the culture, let alone filling me in. So you're talking about the due diligence or whatever?
Yep.
You guys, listen to me right here. If you want to know the due diligence of what's going on, follow Woodward Sports Network. Get Michael Gentry on, because not only asking the right questions, but diving down. And one of the things that he knows with me is that what I care about, I don't care about the X and O's, all that. It's like, where's the culture and how does it fit in? So one of the first questions I want to ask with him, with Michael, because as we see the Steve Yzerman, it's Hansel and Gretel. He will drop the breadcrumbs and stuff like this. Now you look at Marco Kasper's drafted first overall. The first thing that I look is, okay, Swedish. He's a center. Where did he play? Who did he play with? Who is he coached by? When you look at this now with this Red Wing team as they're putting it together, is that more important to you, the lineage, let alone with the talent of Steve Yzerman's putting this together, because it feels real?
Yeah, no, especially with Kasper. Like you said, he has experience with the Swedish Hockey League. He's one of Yzerman's it's one of Yzerman's type of picks, and it's not different than anything that he's ever done to this point. And for him to be able to go out and he got his guy, and we had question marks around who he was going to pick. And for him, you just really got to trust him. And Marco Kasper is a young guy. He's 6'1", 180. He's going to be able to come and play in a couple of years. I wouldn't expect him to go out on the ice as is, but he's going to be able to grow into that second-line center that the Red Wings are going to want to have.
But isn't he a guy, like if I was going to do a comparable, is it fair enough to say that along the lines of a Pius Suter?
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Like we saw that. Now, people would say, well, you have Pius Suter and stuff like this, but you don't realize like the value of a guy like that in your lineup playing second or third.
Yeah.
I think that if you're a successful team, this guy might be your third liner, but he's more of a Suter. He can put the puck in the net maybe 10 to 15 times,
yes,
but he's going to set it up. He's going to be more of the exclusive I look at this kid, right, to be that sort of defensive that to add along to what the Veleno's supposed to do. I think what we saw from Joe Veleno last year was a little bit more offense than maybe he was projected to do. So there's still a lot of questions with the guys on the roster. Question Stick had brought up, right? We're going to talk about Derek Lalonde. We're going to talk about him a lot moving forward. But at his press conference when he came out, putting it together like Tampa, goaltender out.
Yep.
Steve Yzerman, again, trust the process, did exactly what he did last year and traded a third-round pick for a goalie from St. Louis. Billy Husso, do you like this move?
Oh, absolutely. And he's going to be a perfect 1-2 punch with Ned. They kind of have like that same upside. He's very similar to Ned in what he was coming from in St. Louis. Ned had a great season with Carolina to end it, and for Yzerman to go out and kind of get him for like little to nothing is an absolute steal. And going back to Suter and Kasper comparison, that's a really good comparison because they are the same type of player, and they both could be a stretch to second line or third line forward. But I think Kasper has that high upside of being so young that his defensive ability at that young age is so good as is. And it's just going to get better from there. And, his offense is there. So the sky's the limit with him, especially being so young.
You brought something right there that just clicked to me, is when you hear the coach, right? Derek Lalonde said something else, too, that he learned in Tampa Bay. Managers manage, coaches coach, players play, right? When you start hearing what is coming out of not just the GM's mouth, but the coach's mouth, and then it's applying. So what you just said there with the first pick in the Lalonde era, Steve Yzerman selected that defensive sort of centerman that you're going to need that can play the 2, play the 3, which is sort of the stretch ability, what you in eventually winning the Cup. So to say this to all the Red Wing fans out there, looking at the future, and maybe some are like frustrated because you don't have some guy who's going to step into your lineup. What do you have to say about, what I was trying to talk about earlier about it's last year's draft now. The guys are developing with a year. This is what I'm trying to say is the process is sped up. The development of guys is bigger. To me, it's apparent that the Swedish Elite League is stepping up maybe just above the AHL, the KHL, but it's as the developmental league in the world, right? Mm-hmm. So with 1 more year in that league, we saw it with Mo Seider, we saw it with Joe Veleno, we saw it with all these guys. Do you expect, and I know prospects camp, but the guys that were drafted last year, how many of these guys do you expect to maybe be on this roster or fight for a chance to be on this roster?
I would say maybe 2 or 3 right now. I would say you would get a good look at Simon Edvinsson this season. I don't know how early it would be, but Jonathan Berggren, right winger, he's going to be up there. 100%. He put up 74 points with Grand Rapids last season. He's a huge playmaker, knows how to put pucks in the net. So I would say 2 or 3, but you don't want to rush these guys, like especially with the way the Wings were last season. Like they had a lot of games that would kind of kill your morale, you could say. You remember how many goals we were getting put up on us. And you don't want these guys to come out there and just get straight killed every game and then have no confidence whatsoever. So I think if anyone, we're going to see those 2, and you just kind of want to wait for these guys till they're ready. You don't want to rush them in, especially Kasper. You won't see him for 2 years, I would say, maybe 3. You never know. Just whenever he's ready.
Ethan Brown in the chat right now saying, Yzerman said everyone is underselling Kasper's skill. This kid was 17 playing in a men's league while other kids were just playing against kids. So we're kind of evaluating him against different talent than you normally would.
But here's the thing, right? Like, don't just bypass any Steve Yzerman comments.
Yeah.
Take that to heart, which means that, whoa, okay. Because Stevie Light, where you see that, and where you see that guys that have played above, so it's not it's about maturity. To me, that tells me maturity. What is the one thing that Mo Seider, Lucas Raymond, that we loved about them? Their maturity as human beings. What do we love about Cade Cunningham? His maturity. So if all these young men that are coming in show the maturity of that, then the game will sort of follow. So and he did. He doesn't throw that around lightly. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Steve Yzerman does not throw around like, hey, listen, because you know what? You're not seeing it. And you know what? That's that's a little slap to everybody else out there, is because you nailed it. You got to trust the Weiser plan, trust who he's doing, and if he sees stuff like that, that should make. That just warmed my heart.
Made you excited?
All warm and fuzzy.
Nice.
All warm and fuzzy.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Steve Yzerman doesn't talk unless he has something to say,
fun,
right?
Baby.
Like, he's not just giving us verbal diarrhea like a lot of these guys do. And like, those are the people that you really. It's hard to decode what they're saying because you don't have a ton of it. But when you listen and pay attention, you can tell he's speaking about different things than other guys are looking at. And that's what I love about like having just total competency in GMs for the Red Wings, the Lions, and the Pistons. Tigers, we'll talk about that later. But it doesn't matter. Like, when Steve Yzerman talks, I listen because I get smarter every time he says something.
Do you think anybody out here, we're coming up here, and then obviously Wednesday as free agency gets under roll and stuff like this, but is there anybody out there you think that he's if I think he's looking at guys, he's looking at that second-tier guys that aren't going to – that he can use on the 1 or 2 year contracts, like he did with Nick Leddy last year, guys that are valuable at the trade deadline. You know, the one guy back there that I still the two guys, right? And one of them, it's sort of like I mentioned, it's like this is it, and Stevie sees something, and hopefully the Long gets something out of it. Is what can Zadina do? This has got to be it. Yes. But the other guy that I saw stuff, right, that I'm really eager because can he develop into that Alex Killorn tough center play again? This is Michael Rasmussen. I think that what I saw this, even though the team stunk the second half of the year, is the development in his development. And then can't forget a guy like what I'm looking for free agency, or guys like we got Mark Stahl, who's the consummate professional veteran to help some of these young kids, and you can't argue that him being there had to do some of the development of Mo Sider. So that's what you want. So I'm not looking for the big splash this year, but I'm looking for a couple, maybe $2 million players, maybe a $4 million player, because we have that ability. Is anybody out there that you're saying, hey, he might take a shot at this guy? Like, if he made a trade or something like this, you know, there's a guy out there that he might be interested in would be a Jeff Petrie, who's a local guy, because of what he brings on the back end. But I just don't see the free agent signing out there that would put this team forward where they need to be.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. It's really kind of hard to pinpoint who, with the given roster we have right now, that they would go after. But I would look for another second, third line center that you could toss in there, and they're going to have to sign another right-handed shot for defense. But as far as Rasmussen goes, I look for him to take a bigger step this year. Like you said, at the end of last year, he got better towards the end of the season, his offensive game. He's always been pretty good defensively, but he has had a little slip-ups, and he's kind of been slow in front of the net. But towards the end of the season, he did get better, and that's one guy that's he needs to prove something this year, as well as Zadina. And I have high hopes for Zadina. Zadina got so much better on the power play throughout the end of the season, and that's really where he shined. But he was kind of getting left to dry out on the third and fourth line and not playing with, I would say, playmakers up to his ability. But this year, I think is a big one for Zadina. But again, when we're talking free agents, it's really, really hard to pinpoint who Steve Yzerman's going to go after. You kind of just need those cap-friendly contracts to get you through this year, and then see what these young guys can do, and then try and make that big splash. You don't want to put your team in any cap depth or anything like that, where you're gonna have to question some contract down the road.
Now, are you worried about that at all with Steve Yzerman?
No, not at all.
You should not be.
You know I'm not. You know I'm not. Of all people, D-Mac, you know I'm not.
Well, thank you, Michael Gentry, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
That is our Red Wings expert. And what an endorsement you just got by Darren McCarty, too, right when you came on.
I know, man. I'm going to have to clip that.
Yeah, you save that. You make an NFT, and you save that the rest of your life, man.
Let's go.
Darren McCarty giving you the nod as a hockey knowledge here at Woodward
D-Mac.
Sports.
So
thanks for coming on, Michael Gentry. And let me tell you about Syntron. The summer of Syntron is here. People yelling, go Red Wings at DMAC. And you know what? Syntron is a proud partner of the Detroit Red Wings, and you can be a proud partner of Syntron. Just go to Kroger, anyone that's near you. They have some select locations where you can get Syntron today. Only $4 for 2 cans, and you can pick it up. Like I said, proud partner of Little Caesars Arena, Pistons, Red Wings, Tigers, and of course, the DCFC. Shout out to DCFC.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Love our sports teams growing and love to watch our city grow too. That is where the Monroe Midway is. Bedrock presents it. Summer is better at the Monroe Street Midway. That means you can roller skate. They have DJs. They have food trucks. It's a fun family environment for everybody 1 to 100. Go downtown and check it out. I'm telling you, there's great spots to take pictures. The roller skating is fun, and you can do it with your whole friends, or with your family, or just go by yourself and make some new friends. It's downtown Detroit, Monroe Street Midway. Brought to you by Bedrock. Welcome back to Big D Energy. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule, who is in Florida right now. He was calling a DCFC game over the weekend, so he was down there. And Neil is all over. You know the geekiest thing about Neil Rule? Did he ever tell you the geekiest thing about him?
What?
So, Neil Rule, when he sees a plane in the sky, he goes on this little tracker app that he has and finds out where that plane is and where it's going. You guys do that too, Westfall? You have done that?
Well, you can just zap it and it'll tell you where it goes?
Flight radar, he says. That's what it's called. So, yeah, that Neil Rule was telling me. Like every time, he's like a child. He'll be like, oh, a plane. Oh, where's it going? Where's it going?
I was on the golf course yesterday. I was on Pine Knob golf course.
Beautiful course.
I looked up and saw a plane, and I thought that. So it's apropos.
You were wondering where it was going?
I didn't know I could download the app.
All you have to do, you don't even have to download the app. Just call Neil Rule. He'll figure it out for you. Yeah, we were going through on Friday. We were talking about like what's our geek thing, and that's his geek thing. Mine is I like romantic comedies. Like I watched 3 Adam Sandler movies yesterday with Drew Barrymore in them. Like I just love those 50 First Dates, Wedding Singer, and then Blended.
But those are at least romantic comedies.
Yeah, I love them.
So, the Notebook and stuff for y'all?
I mean, listen, I'll watch those. I do like no, never by myself. I do like the Notebook. That's a hell of a story, man. It made me cry. It reminded me of my grandparents.
Do you watch the Adam Sandler movies by yourself?
Oh yeah. By yourself? I'll throw on rom-coms by myself.
Okay, so that is
Yeah, I'm a 6'4", 200-pound dude that loves rom-coms, so deal with it. But it is one of the weirdest. Like, I don't even know. When I start dating girls and I tell them that.
Thinking.
Yeah, you don't have a thing you geek out over.
Everybody else knows. What's that?
You don't have a thing you geek out over.
Yeah, you guys know all this stuff.
Oh, the Mulligan bag, dude. By the way, have you checked this bag out by Mulligan? Absolutely beautiful. We're gonna be giving it away on our social media, so make sure you're following us at Woodward Sports.
I'm going to make easy caddy for me in an event, and I'm going to use this bag, and I'm going to put all my clubs in it, because this is like a tour bag. It's like 40 pounds.
It's so nice.
I can load it up.
It's heavy, but the leather's so soft. You know, Maz, here's Maz's geeky thing. Maz, whenever you hand him a sport ball or anything like that, it could be any type of sporting thing, and even this, he smells it. If you hand Maz a football, he's going to smell it. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but he does it constantly.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I smell my chip bags when I open them.
Your chip bags?
Yeah.
Yeah,
every time you open them, you gotta go.
I do that with my jars.
Yeah, I do that. I do that with other green, but yes, that's fine.
We call those things chips now, fish? Okay, yes. Yes, all
Fish
right.
and chips. I love it. They
There
always
it
go
is.
together. Welcome back to Big T Energy. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule, who loves to track planes. This is Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion. Michael Gentry now stepping in to be a TD, our technical director. Dude is playing multiple roles today. Fish on sound, Alex Westfall, Jeff Iafrate. Adam was here earlier. The heavyweights are out on the course. Actually, Gentry, text the heavyweights, see if they can send you a video or go on Slack and download a couple because I want to see what they're doing out there.
Or do you?
Yeah, actually.
I just seen them. I just looked on. I just looked online. They were sun tanning, and Rake actually said, "Be careful, you might bring down some planes." So if the cops show up or the FCC or something like that, we know why.
Let's talk about Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey, man. I've been excited. Probably a geeky thing around here at Woodward Sports is we're all just getting up at midnight to watch Summer League games and texting each other while it's happening. But watching this young talent come together, and you were talking earlier in the show, they just look longer on the court. Like, we look more physical. And then when you look at a guy like Ivey, I mentioned this last week after the first preseason game or Summer League game, is he was doing things that I've never seen anybody in a Pistons uniform do, and that is break down 5 guys on defense, split 2 defenders, drive the lane, take on 3 guys trying to block the shot, still have the athleticism to finish that. And then you go to the second Summer League game, and the guy balls out for the first 7 minutes of the game. He leaves with an injury, but you could just tell he is heads and tails above everybody else in the Summer League, which is what you want to see. And I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame because we saw last year, who was it, Jalen Green. We saw him tear up Summer League. He didn't really do much in the regular season. But with Jaden Ivey, this dude is just different.
Well, here's the whole thing is when you guys are talking about it, all the basketball fans and everything like that, it was going back to drafting, having the ability to draft Jaden Ivey and stuff like this, right? So I'm listening to everybody at Woodward, all the basketball pundits. We got Jeff Iafrate, who's going to step into the action here and give us a few comments. But yourself, Neil, all the basketball, you're happy with the pick. Ecstatic with the pick. You see how it is going to work. Right, I mentioned about Spencer's pants getting a little tight there in the first game when their alley-oop was thrown. But they're doing things that you guys expected and had hoped to do. But as we bring in our Piston guy, Jeff, the juicy one, Iafrate.
We're bringing in some big brains today,
man. Big brains today. I love it. Hey, Jeff, is that everything you've wanted to see so far, at least from Jaden Ivey when you drafted him?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we need to see any more. The one thing I was looking for when Jaden Ivey touched the floor was, how does he look? Does he look like he belongs? Does he look like a man amongst men? And my question was answered. He does. I mean, he doesn't really need to be out there. You know, he had the ankle injury. He could take the rest of the summer league off.
How bad did that scare you? Because it scared the hell out of me, man. I was literally telling the girl I was watching the game with, I was like, this guy's special, man. For the first time ever, like, this guy is super special. And then literally 30 seconds later, he's spraining his ankle. And I'm just screaming, no!
Refusal. That's how I was, too. Like, what do you have, 11 points in 5 minutes? And then you come out, and the way he got injured too is honestly a controversial way in the NBA, man. Giving shooters space to land. He didn't have any space and he hurt his ankle, but he'll be fine. It was just a little tweak. I'm really looking, 2 guys I'm looking forward to seeing the most and have been impressing me is Isaiah Livers and Isaiah Stewart. 2 guys that are going to see significant time in the regular season. Isaiah Livers, 3-and-D guy. He's just becoming a more and more vocal on the floor defensively. And then Isaiah Stewart. I mean, his ability to space out and hit the 3-point shot is going to give him significant playing time come the regular season. So it's been great. I mean, the Pistons are technically undefeated in the Summer League, not to take much from it, but I like what I've been seeing.
Oh, man. Screaming. I lost my voice.
It's the mulligan. What you guys are doing over here?
I got to crack a mulligan, man. Good God.
Hey.
I lost my voice going, no!
There we go. See, we knew we could get Stick on it. Now we're at the golf course. Now it feels like we're at the golf course.
Yeah, absolutely.
I needed that. The cough brought me into the mulligan. So this is working out well. But to your point, Isaiah Stewart, man, what I love about this guy is he's coachable, right?
Absolutely.
Like, he came in the league as a body. He came in the league as the next Ben Wallace type player, right? He's going to be physical. Mm-hmm. He's adding the 3-point shot to his game because he's knowing that's how he's going to get on the court.
Yep.
He's getting lapped by the big men that we're bringing in, like Duran, Noel, all those guys, Bagley that we re-signed. So he has to evolve his game, and he's doing it. And it's really cool to see a player do that, not have the ego and be like, no, I'm the rebounder, I'm the big guy. It's like, no, you need me to stretch the floor? I'm here to stretch the floor for the team.
Yeah, he's willing.
That's the team aspect. I think that what you're mentioning, right? We know what we have in the big guys. We're seeing what we have in Ivy. Is it going to work? Yes, he wants to be here. You see what I see, not only the length, but I see the communication.
Mm-hmm.
I see a guy who, right, because the two Isaiahs, they're sort of like, they're going to be sort of like your grind line.
Yep.
Right? Because they have to, okay, what is needed on this team? Right? And there's one thing as an athlete to know what's needed, and then there's another thing to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. So what we're seeing from Isaiah Stewart is the evolution of his game. What let me know is he's a part of moving forward is going back to the playoffs in Boston when you see him with Cade, with Killian, with Casey, which means the culture-wise is they're going to figure it out. I think that his toughness and all that stuff that he brings, but also, too, if he's hitting that shot, right, and then not only to say, because I think that the unsung guy or the guy that can be the value is Livers. Mm-hmm. Is Livers 3-and-D off the bench, and if he's consistent and he gets that more minutes to whatever, it just makes everybody else. So I think from my point of view is, do we have something moving forward with this group? And I think that with this group, with what Dwayne Casey has, Cade and everybody coming in, yeah, the injuries are scary. You never want anything to happen. It's good to hear that, the trainer's saying that it's nothing serious. Mm-hmm. But again, availability in all leagues is the number one ability. And but how can you not be excited? How can you not be excited to what the future has to offer?
The biggest thing to take away from the Summer League is the Pistons are now slowly finding an identity. You just brought up Isaiah Livers and Isaiah Stewart. These guys want to play hard. Isaiah Stewart, him and Jalen Duran are going to be seeing the floor together, and that's what makes him adding that three-point shot so significant. And to your point, Isaiah Livers, 3-and-D, but more than that, being open to communicating and calling guys out defensively and offensively. Like you heard him I know it's Summer League, but still, telling guys where to be.
You're seeing that a lot with Duran, too.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I noticed a lot, and they actually mentioned it in the commentary. And you know where that comes from, right? That comes from Rasheed Wallace, because he got coached up by Rasheed Wallace at Memphis.
But that's Larry Brown, too.
And Larry Brown. But remember when Sheed came to the 04 Pistons, just how much he was vocal. Get out. Like, D up, coming to the left, pick. And that's so important in basketball.
It's so easy talking.
Right, but some guys just get lost in the game, and they don't do it, though.
Yeah, and that's why guys like Draymond Green are so valuable, because on championship teams, you have a guy like that who can call everybody out, call BS out, and just do the dirty work. To Darren's point, the grind line. That's why I like the comparison, too.
Yeah. So, the Summer League has been looking good to me. Jaden Ivey is everything that he's been billed to be. Yeah. And, I said this when we drafted him. We may not have won the lottery, but I think we got the guy that we needed no matter what. If we had the number 1 pick, the 2, 3, because you watch Pablo Panchero just biff the game away the other night, and people are already starting to compare him to Ben Simmons that he can't shoot. And, if we would have gotten the number 1 pick, we may have selected him over Ivy just because he was the number 1 guy type. But I love sometimes the universe just works out the way it should,
Absolutely.
Right? Like, we didn't need the number 1 pick. We got the guy that we needed at number 5.
Yeah, we checked that off with Cade Cunningham. And I think Jaden Ivey, he has a chance to be the best player in this draft class. So, Pistons struck gold, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
That is. And you know what? Maybe we won't call him the grind line, because the grind lines go to hockey, but we can call him Guardian. As in the Guardian Alarm. He's the Guardian Isaiahs, the Zaya Guardians, just like Guardian Alarm. Because, guys, summertime's here. The boys are playing in the Summer League and stuff like that. But summertime is here, and that means spending more time outside. So let Guardian Alarm give you peace of mind while you are out enjoying all this great sunshine like we are today out here at Cherry Creek Golf Course. So, if you want to be part of the Guardian Alarm family, I need you to call. Here's the number, 1-800.
Stay out!
That's 1-800.
Stay out!
The heavyweight heads are on hole number 3, and they're dying.
And they're crying.
Exhausted.
They're crying.
Dying
You know
and
what?
crying out there.
You know what? Let's talk about this when we get
all
back.
Out there, fish 1-800.
Stay out on 3.
Stay out on 3. Stay out wherever you are. Get Guardian Alarm. Let them know. Woodward Sports.
Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Let me tell you about our friends at Chili Peppers Tanning. They got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the hottest girls working there. I got to be honest with you. The beautiful ladies, and they're so nice to us whenever we do live events there. Harrison Township was their brand new location, so make sure you stop out there. Say hi, let them know that Woodward Sports sent you, but they got locations all over Metro Detroit. So you want to keep that sweet tan all year long. Only one place to go. That's Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Oh, thank you, Fish. Can you do the butt crack full of sand part for me real quick? say butt crack full of sand, Fish.
Why?
Because it's part of their song.
Butt crack full of sand.
Thank you, Fish. I appreciate
Chili
that.
Peppers Tan. Is that better?
That's it.
Yeah, that is better.
You don't want your butt crack full of sand.
You do not need a butt crack full of sand. You can get a tan at Chili Peppers. Speaking of tans, the big fellas, the heavyweights are out right now on the golf course. We are live at the DSMA Golf Outing, Detroit Sports Media. This is Woodward Sports. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. Darren McCarty is here. Jeff Iafrate still joining us because we're going to talk some more Pistons and really just Summer League basketball. But, yeah, butt crack full of sand. Apparently, Spencer is in a sand trap shirtless right now. We're trying to get some video of this because you got a witness. But, yeah, shout out to the heavyweights.
Fully lathered in Swedish gold.
I hope so.
Chili Peppers Tanning.
Easy just making sure he's lotioned up on his back. And, oh, man.
Spencer just called me and put in the request for some chairs and food. I said, Spence, I'm waiting on food as well. So as soon as they get some food, I'll let you know. But
yeah, there's hot dogs right back there. They can get them at the turn.
Fish, we're going to have to send Fish.
I mean, they're heavyweights. They should know they need to bring snacks with them everywhere. They're going to be hungry. Like, come on, what are we doing here? They've been big fellas their whole life. They know they're going to be hungry on a course. And literally, what time they get here? What, 9? So they've been out there 3 hours? Oh, no, you had to work a whole 3 hours? Like, what? If people understood what we had them doing right now and how much they're bitching in the chat, it's ridiculous to me. Guys, suck it up. 3 hours out on a golf course with a beautiful breeze, people coming by. We gave you alcohol. We gave you water. Like, what do these guys want? Who the hell do they think they are?
Oh, man, Stick is just going off.
Because you know what? When I was their age, breaking into media, and this is going to sound like old man Stick preaching to the young fellas, but I've been in Detroit media for 22 years, right?
Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time. I did sleepless nights. I've stayed up 25 hours to do broadcasts. I've done everything. And I never bitched about it. Like, where's my water? Oh, my God, it's hot out here. Like, just shut the hell up and go to work for 3 hours. It's not like we're saying sit out there in the direct sun. You're under trees. So, yeah, the younger generation is just soft as hell. These guys are as soft as their bellies.
Soft
that's all I know.
Grapes, baby. Soft as grapes.
Yeah, I love the term soft as baby poo because that's exactly what it is. Sorry about that, fellas. Didn't mean to get off track.
No, I love it, man.
It drives me nuts, man. Like, how entitled are you? It's crazy. Just get out there and work.
You know the answer to that.
Very why? Entitled.
Right. So, I mean, you asked, you know the why.
My day, can I tell them my day? I showed up here at 6:30. I set up the whole damn broadcast. The tents, the cameras, the mics, everything. Made sure everybody filling in on a show today. Guess who's going to tear down? This dude right here. When we had to solve a problem that Westfall couldn't TD the show, who solved that? I did. I'm not sitting here being like, oh, I need water, I need praise. I don't need any of that shit. Sorry, Fish, I swore. I don't normally do that. Sorry.
He's passionate. He's passionate.
But damn, come on, guys. Just stay out there.
I should have had him crack that mulligan at the beginning of the show.
We need this more mulligan for Stick.
Let's go, Stick.
Get him more mulligan.
Yeah, just stay out there and get good content.
Attaboy. See, like, it's...
Damn, man, I never go off, T-Mac. Do I ever go off?
No.
Right.
No. That's Adam's job.
Right.
That's Adam's job.
There are a lot of loud voices.
I enjoy this. I think you're just spitting facts here. People just forget sometimes.
Yeah, well, they're going to learn.
They're going
to learn today.
What Drake say? We're going to see.
Yep.
We're going to see.
Going to learn what a long today. That one's fine, Fish. You don't have to bleep that. We're good.
Let that one slide.
He swallowed it, Fish. Anyways, Summer League. Summer League.
What a transition.
Makes me feel fine. One of the coolest things I've seen is sudden death overtime in Summer League. This needs to be a part of the NBA moving forward. Hockey perfected it a long time ago.
No.
Yeah, for regular season games after double overtime.
Oh, okay, regular season.
Regular
season
playoffs.
No.
It's like the shootout.
Yeah.
Right, the shootout, it's the hockey, overtime basketball.
Exactly.
And would you not do it after the first overtime? Why do you have to go through the second overtime? Because if you get through, I mean, you've gone 4 quarters. Mm-hmm. You go through the 5th. Isn't it? Aren't we implementing it because isn't it about time? Because think about it. Unless you're a diehard fan, as long as that game goes or you catch it at the end, I mean that's tune in no hitter stuff.
Right.
Like as a casual basketball fan or whatever, if I saw that there's a game in overtime and I know if that game goes to double overtime, that it's sudden death.
You're rooting for it.
I'm flipping it on, rooting for it. Probably betting it too.
Right.
No.
Right? You know what I mean? Betting.
The intensity was through the roof on that last part. Like, there were, 4 possessions in that overtime, a foul that was called back because it was reviewed, which extended the game. But it was literally like these guys were playing for their life, and all I could think of is, man, imagine if the whole game was like this. Imagine if these guys were given this effort. I understand.
And here's the thing.
But that's my dream.
How many ticky-tack at the time, you know what, is a foul guy, is there a foul the guy hits a free throw.
Ruin the entire thing.
A walk-off free throw, right? You know? But, I mean, I guess if you're going to try it, and that's why it's, arguable, but I mean, I'm not against it.
No,
did you like it, Jeff?
I like it. I think it's a better product for consumers. But we'll start in the regular season. I think what it also solves is some of these games, and you both know this. You're tuning into the games that are in like 10 o'clock at night. Mm-hmm. By the time it gets late, let's just end this thing. After one overtime, like Darren said, I'm down to do a sudden overtime, solution. Let's just get it over with. And I think it adds a much more suspense towards the end of the game rather than just saying, all right, this team's up by 10 points. We're good. We'll just turn it off. I like sudden death.
When it was going on, I literally texted our group. I was like, this is my favorite thing in sports right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is my new favorite thing. I want this to be a part of every NBA game that goes into multiple overtimes. And I also like the suggestion that a lot of people are saying in the chat, like Murph and a couple other people are saying, that they should do it kind of like
the All-Star.
The All-Star game.
First to this amount of points.
And that's core basketball, right? Like, you grow up playing to 21.
Exactly.
Like, it's not unfamiliar to these guys, and once you get to that close mark, it turns into a completely different game, and I just love the competitive spirit it brought out of these young guys, and you saw it. It made guys choke. It made Pablo choke twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Luckily, his team ended up winning, but he was making dumbass plays because of the stress of the situation, and I think that's great for the Summer League, too, because you're going to see what a guy's really like in crunch time. Because crunch time at the end of Summer League is just like, all right, it's the end of the Summer League game, but these guys wanted that bucket.
Yeah.
When you're fighting for one bucket, they all wanted that bucket. It was so great.
Yeah.
I liked it too.
And it's better in Summer League in terms of just a better product. I mean, Summer League as it is, not a lot of people tune in, but if you're putting on product like a product like that where you have sudden overtime, it just makes it that much more interesting. So kudos to the NBA for trying it, honestly.
Yeah, whoever thought of that, give them a raise. Give them as many raises as you can give. Like, we need evolution, and honestly, this is one of the things that baseball's left behind. Like, the NBA may adopt this, even though they don't have to, but they're getting ahead of the game, right?
Well, that's the object with technology and with everything else.
Try it out in the summer.
I like the fact. See, I like the fact too. it just got me thinking, but yes, you should have, if it goes overtime, you get a challenge, right? Because if there's a foul, you should be able to challenge it or something.
And they reverse the foul.
No, but do you see how they're trying to get it right? They're starting to, think about different things. I mean, it is the evolution. What is it, the baseball, whether we're going to use the automatic strike zone?
Sports are always going to evolve. It really is.
It has to, because technology keeps evolving.
Absolutely.
Right? And so the camera keeps evolving.
Right.
And
why not use it?
You look at how many since they've implemented, the challenge rule or instant replay, like slides, like safe and outs, like bang, bang, second base, like this and that. Like now you have to be spot on. And calling it, and it's about, trying to get it right. I think trying to get it right, trying to add the entertainment to the fans, but not taking away from the history,
the core values,
and the core values of the game. And I don't believe really this does in this aspect. I think it makes it more entertaining.
No, I love it.
Like as a non-basketball, so really you guys as basketball guys are saying it, and me as a sort of a non-basketball guy is going, no, I dig it. Because I dig the intensity. I dig the and you know what? It's also, here's the thing, right? You say that now about Banchero or whatever like that, right? But this is all reps to put yourself in that position.
I'm going to pull a Neil rule. I'm not saying it. People are saying it.
You were told.
I was told
by basketball people.
You have to turn to a Neil rule and say, I was told.
I was told.
But I was also
he's going to be
told
Ben Simmons.
The more you put yourself in that position. Yeah, but here's the thing. He ain't stopped shooting. He'll shoot his way out of whatever else.
You like that.
Ben Simmons
shut himself down.
Won't even shoot. Yeah.
But he shot his shot at the Jenner chick and nailed that. So, I don't get it. If you're willing to shoot your shot do it on the court, buddy.
Self-awareness. You only have so many shots. Right? So he hit
one.
Now, he hit might have hit the right one.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on.
Honestly, I could never make a shot in the NBA. As long as I hit that shot, I'd be happy.
Yeah, and he got the bag, so it all ended up working out for Ben Simmons.
But the shot, got the bag, and hasn't even shot a basketball in 2 years.
Ended up working out. Now the Nets are building around him. Congrats to Ben Simmons, man.
There you go.
And I do want to say quickly, I think to your point, Stick, about that, the change in the summer league. I think anything to make the regular season more watchable, I think that should be on the NBA's #1 list.
Yeah.
Everyone always says, well, it's always come playoff time. If you can add things like that into the regular season, just a better product.
Well, they talked about putting that mid-season tournament in as well. I don't love
I'm not
that.
a fan of that one.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm cool. Leave the play-in. I was already iffy about the play-in. Now that that's in, leave the mid-season tournament, man. Let's just – it should be making it to the playoffs, period.
That's it.
I don't want to be rooting for my team in the mid-season.
Now that's winning, Jeff.
That's winning.
That's winning, Jeff.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
That's winning.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Let's go. You know what else is winning? Going to Big Boy and getting yourself
That's
a shake
winning.
and a
Buffet.
ciabatta. That is it, ciabatta time right now at Big Boy. Make sure you stop by your local Big Boy, and they got sunrise ham and cheddar sandwiches. All sandwiches are served with fries and a Pepsi. Cordon bleu ciabattas, chicken club ciabattas, and that's winning right there. So make sure yourself.
Club.
You're going Chicken Club? Yeah. I love cordon bleu sandwiches, man. I'm a sucker for those.
Bougie.
The Swiss
Give him
cheese.
his Dijon and his cordon bleu.
I drink it with one pinky up. There we go. So make sure you head to your local Big Boy. They've revamped, they've redone everything, and the food is fantastic. So go check them out.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, D-Mac here for the Academy of Warren. Yes, a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field, and that can also be used for 7-on-7 football. So it offers kindergarten to 8th grade that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, the Learning Street, the Futuristic Media Center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K-8 athletics. So get to academy@warren.net to sign up today and tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Welcome back to Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. Darren McCarty is here today. We are live at the DSMA Golf Outing, Detroit Sports Media. We are at Cherry Creek, and it's a beautiful day, nice breeze. We're hanging out. The heavyweights are out there. We got some videos of them coming up. They stopped bitching in the chat, so I'm happy about that. But, yeah, somebody asked about Jaden Ivey's injury. And they needed an update because they were just tuning in. He tweeted out that it was no big deal.
Tweak.
Just a tweak.
The old tweak the ankle.
Yep.
And precautionary.
And I think you shut him down for the rest of the summer league.
Absolutely.
You've seen enough.
You saw what you needed to see, right? And like the big thing, the first thing is the length that I saw, but then it's like these guys are out there having fun. When you're talking, when you're chattering, when you're doing things like that, when you're developing in yourself, it's sort of as it looks like to me anyways that Dwayne Casey and Troy Weaver have put these guys together and they know what they want. And this has sort of been the development where you go back to the culture. So, yeah, it's the same reason there's no sense of playing them. You give these other guys some more of opportunity. Yep. Maybe you give more minutes to Beef Stew or more minutes to Livers in different situations. Now's the time to try different guys to see what down the road maybe you'll have to put them in these situations. So, yes, absolutely. I wouldn't expect him to play again, nor would I really want him to play again.
Right. And what I do love, and you kind of mentioned it, these guys are having fun, and it's not only them, it's Cade Cunningham on the sidelines and dapping them up during games.
He's there, dude.
And how much does that show you for a second-year player to be that type of leader? He doesn't have to be in summer league. Like, you don't have to check out but he's there sitting courtside, rocking his Detroit gear, representing the squad. Like, that says a lot.
Cade reminds me of the guy going, okay, I know, but I just want to go be around the guy. Yeah. And then he's like, so can I just play a couple minutes? Can I just get in there for a few minutes? But being around, because that's developing culture. It's the same thing as you see Dylan Larkin, having a conversation with some of the guys that are drafted, at the table or right there. It's about being part. These guys are all Detroit Pistons. They're all representing each other. And the more that they find a way and all Detroit Pistons, they're all representing each other. And the more that they find a way and enjoy themselves playing together, it will resonate on the court.
And it's really important to me that your best player is your biggest team player as well, and your biggest catalyst of drawing these guys together. Because when your leader's out there rooting on the young guys, everybody else that's 1, 2, 3 steps down on the chain of command ladder is going to follow suit.
It's the same thing as when you see your best players put all the work in off the court or off the ice in the gym and stuff like that. How can you not? How can you not?
Right.
You're never doing enough.
You know what? What was it? Like a month ago, we did a show together, and you said something to me that is going to stick with me the rest of my life. You're only as tough as your toughest leader, right?
Yeah. And no, you're only as tough as your leader is,
right?
And that's more, and that is mentally, physically, spiritually, right?
Yeah.
So that tells a lot about not only, and that could be your leader. And leadership, like it goes back to management, players, coaches, different ways. So it explains why my lifetime, pretty much, except for the first 10 years when he wasn't part of it, Steve Yzerman's been a Detroit Red Wing, and we're in good shape.
And to speak even beyond that, to go one level above him, the leadership above Steve Yzerman has to give him. Yeah, they have to give him.
Well, it started with
that.
the ownership,
right.
And you look at what Mr. and Mrs. Illich did to develop what we had developed. And, Mr. Illich ain't around anymore, but as far as the hockey team goes, that's what Steve has continued as we learned. It's just like handing the family business down. He's like Michael Corleone. No, Stevie's like Michael Corleone. No, he really is.
I love that. I love that comparison.
There it is. So who am I?
Who are you?
I don't know. That's scary. That's scary.
Hitman number 1.
There it is. There it is.
The guy you call when there's a problem.
But it's along those ways, it is the culture that you learn. The Godfather is a good way because we're all familiar with it. So, it's and the toughness to play through and it's not the toughness when it's easy. It's the toughness when it's hard and when everybody's down on you and everybody's crapping on you and everybody doesn't think you can do it, that you have that belief and you got to lead your way out of it. So
there's a poem I learned in high school like that. It's like when the world around you is in chaos.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
No, not that one. It's when the world around you in chaos and you can remain calm, and then you become a man, my friend. And I think it's a Kipling poem, but it was really about like
Rudyard.
Yeah, it was really about just like understanding when challenges come. That's when you get to show who you really are. Everybody can do it when it's easy.
Absolutely.
Everybody
That's
can.
what defines it, and it also defines is are you in or are you in the way?
Yeah.
Do you really want it?
Speaking of in and in the way, the heavyweights, we have a video of them out on the course.
Nice.
Yeah. Gentry, you got a couple? Why don't you just play them all back to back to back, and you guys can experience what the heavyweights are doing right now, right here at the DSMA golf outing.
1, 2 and 1. On guard.
Oh!
It really be your own.
So there's the heavyweights doing heavyweight tings, as they like to say, out there fencing and just being the boys. Love those guys so much. And, sorry I was hard on you guys earlier, but, sometimes you got to lay down the hammer. That's just part of the situation. So the heavyweights are out here. We're having a good time, talking a ton, and we're going to do something coming up in about a half hour. It's called Ask D-Mac. So if you ever had a question for Darren McCarty, if you wanted to sit down and interview him, now is your chance. You can drop some questions in the chat, and we will look at those. And then maybe I'll ask you to redrop them again coming up in about 20 minutes so I can make sure that I hit those. But if you ever had a question for Darren McCarty, whether it's about hockey, life, philosophy, like wrestling. I mean, Darren McCarty is not just the guy who beat the hell out of Claude Lemieux. As I've gotten to know this guy over the past year and a half, he's one of the deepest souls that I know, Darren. like you feel things.
Oh yeah, I'm an empath.
Empath
for sure in different ways. It's just the self-awareness or looking in the mirror or going on your deep dive into who self is. There we go. And again, that's what I'm saying. Mulligan up, mulligan down. There we go. Stick drinks it up, drinks it down. So it's just, I think that in my journey, it's just understanding who I am, and I just try to, the people that want to do the work.
How long did it take you, though? How long did it take you to reach that, enlightenment period?
It still does. I tell everybody the big where I was able to start putting things together is when I went to Israel in 2019 before COVID with the Russian Five. Spent a week over there with Slava Kozlov and Jenny Fedorovich, Josh Reel, and my boy Aaron, and a lot of the friends over there. Was able to, because I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. I always tell people that, you want to use my hotline to the big guy, go ahead, because I've had it all my life. That's how I'm still alive and whatever else.
Right.
But it was just the ability I went to the wall and stuff like this, and to explain the wall to anybody. Because when you walk in, you have to understand that there's this hum, and there's probably 2,000 or 3,000 people there, and it's separated between men and women, right? So the men go to one side and the women, but you can hear it, but it's not somebody being rude, somebody talking. Right? There's this hum of sort of prayer that you sort of get into, and then when you go to the wall, it's an incredible experience as far as it's like only you in the universe. I can't explain it, but it's sort of like you come to peace. Now for me, what I left with, and this is how I translate, is the ability to receive the message.
Okay.
So if my antenna is a little, so then now all the stuff that has always gone on around me, maybe I have translation for it. Maybe I understand it in my way. So the biggest thing that I had to learn, Stick, is the fact is that I can only do me to the best of my ability. And so what it is the tools that I've used to people that want to do the work. Not to the ones that you want to get it,
right,
but the ones that want to get it. So I'm just here for all the stuff when you're ready to get off that hamster wheel, when you're ready for the ride to end. Because why? Because when I wanted it to end, there wasn't a way out that I thought until almost the end, and we're here now almost 7 years later. But in saying that, that's why all this stuff about the people, I say it all the time. I'm a battery, people are my power, especially in this state. But that's what we have, that connection with our sports teams and our love and the different ones. And I see what's coming.
Right.
You see what's coming. We've been through this
It.
before.
You more than feel it. You feel it, right.
And 3 out of the 4 teams, we're talking about the Pistons now, and this is the exciting part. And I just want everybody who wants to enjoy it to get ready because it's coming. I don't know when, but we here at Woodward Sports, no matter what we do, we're along the ride. And that's why, about the people, all that stuff, wow. That cart looks good, Joseph.
Yeah, Joey's back from the beer cart girl.
Can we get an update on the course?
Yeah, hold on. Let's Joey, sit down. We're going to talk to you coming up next because we definitely want to talk to Joey. But first, let me tell you about our friends at MyBookie. No matter what you want to bet on, you can do it at MyBookie. I mean, me and Easy wrestled last year, and MyBookie threw it up as an actual card. And so I have a professional loss on my record. Easy has a professional win because people around the world actually bet on that fight, which was awesome. So we need to set up another Woodward Sports wrestling match. But that was hilarious. But you go to MyBookie.com right now. If you're a first-time user, make sure you use the promo code Woodward when you sign up, and they will hook you up with some free cash. That's MyBookie.com.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Here for Big Frog. Get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right. Free. It's for me. Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog and Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print you one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
And shout out to Naked HD for being a part of our chat today. We appreciate you and all that you bring to the table. It is the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. That is Darren McCarty. This is Big D Energy live from the Detroit Sports Media Golf Outing at Cherry Creek. And Joey is here. Joey, our newest beer cart girl here at Woodward Sports. Joey, I feel like we haven't talked on the air in a while, man. How you been, baby?
It has definitely been a minute, but I felt like I had to do like the little tie of the T-shirt, like the volleyball girl T-shirt tie.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to do that when I was out there as the beer cart girl. But
did you get good tips?
I did. I got some really good tips. It was fun, and can I do a couple shout-outs?
Always.
So we're talking about Big Frog, Big Boy, Big D Energy. There's a big real estate that was out there, and that team was freaking awesome. A lot of fun, and a shout-out to everybody there. Golden Limousine was awesome. And then, of course, Amanda Frettel. That was my beer cart girl that I drove around with, and she was awesome.
Wait, so their name's Big Real Estate Team?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just, I thought he was going to get to the name. There's a big real estate team out there. And then
it's literally like big real estate, and there was about 20 of them that were playing.
Hell yeah.
Sports all about the big.
That's right. I mean, you come to us, you deal with the big.
Big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. But what is the day in the life of a beer cart girl, Joey?
A lot of creepy guys. A lot. Like, it's so funny. They're all looking at me like, Amanda, you brought this guy? Who's this? And I was like, well, they sent me out here as security. I had to protect Amanda from you guys. Like, old men and their jokes. That's all I can say.
And once you reach a certain age, you just
Are
stop
old
giving
men
a damn.
jokes worse than dad jokes?
old men pickup lines are, I'm sure.
Some of them are smooth, though, you know? So it's like,
hey, girl, I got a pension. What's up? My 401k's in the trash. What up?
literally. But it was fun out there, man. They're drinking, though. I'll say that. What time is it right now? 12:29.
Yep.
They're drinking like it's 9:30
Did
p.m.
you see any mulligans out there?
Yes, there was a couple that were being sipped on. I'm starting to hear that the peach one is the favorite.
Ooh.
That's what I'm sipping on right
Yeah.
now. It's very delicious.
That's what I'm hearing.
I like the original the best, but this is damn good, too. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, they're all good.
Can't beat them.
So what else you got going on today, Joey?
Nothing really. I'm just I'm on lunch break right now for my beer cart girl duties.
Okay.
So I got about 15 minutes till I'm back on the clock. So obviously that's more important than this show. So I got to get going when the time comes.
Did you run into the heavyweights out there?
I did.
Yeah. How they looking?
They were drinking a lot. I don't know what the assignment was for them, but they were drinking, so they're doing one job, right?
Well, apparently they have enough time to be in the chat, so they got a lot of time out there. Did you take any golf shots?
Oh my gosh. So there was this one girl that was talking, and then she recognized me, and then I said, hey, how are you? And then we started talking. And then all of a sudden she said, are you playing? And I was like, I've actually never golfed before in my life. And she was like, what? Get out that cart. So she like literally grabbed me and threw me out, and she says, you're hitting for me. And I was like, okay.
Oh, boy.
So she taught me how to swing. And I'm not joking. My hit wasn't that bad. I think I got a sport in me now.
All right, and you were telling D-Mac earlier you were playing ice hockey now, too.
Yeah, what's this all about?
Midlife crisis.
Wait. Listen.
Oh, wait. Before we get to this, can we congratulate Joey?
Tell us what you said. Tell him.
Before we get to this, let's congratulate Joey. Joey's about to have a kid.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in
that
October.
too. October.
Oh, October.
So, yeah, that's why he's making – No, that's why he's making all these life changes right now.
Joey,
but tell him what you said about hockey.
Tell him what you said, the conversation when you said to me that you were playing hockey, because you had to quit what?
I had to quit playing basketball.
Why?
Because, like, both of my thumbs are broken. They've been broken for, like, 3 months. They're not healing. My ankle's killing me. I'm just getting old.
So you said you
So
got hurt too much playing basketball, so I'm going to go play hockey. That's what he said.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm going to go play Darren McCarty style hockey. I'm going to go play hockey in a league where they're not even allowed to hit each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
that's how all the leagues are. You're not allowed to.
Listen, that's more dangerous. When guys don't know what they're doing, you're going to get run into when a guy's not trying to run into you.
But I got gear. My thumbs are protected at least.
I hope you don't get hurt, Dad. Congratulations.
We need a sub, by the way. We need a sub tomorrow. You want to play?
Can you imagine if you rolled up with Darren McCarty to your beer league? That would be amazing. Have you ever done that? Have you ever just shown up randomly to play with some like normal dudes that aren't really good, but you just show up and school their ass?
Yeah, we used to. Yeah, especially at home.
You know what we should do, like Dr. Drew that Kyrie does? Dress D-Mac up like an
as
old
the
man,
dude.
and then just come out and rip it up.
That'd be great.
Yeah, to the minute I stepped on the ice and they saw me skate and go, wait, what? That guy runs on the ice. That's got to be D-Mac.
This guy's not old.
When's the due date, Joey?
October
7th.
Nope, 15th.
7th.
15th.
I have a deal with his wife.
My sister's birthday's the 18th, so.
Mine's the 7th, so I'm trying. Uncle Stick needs my nephew to be born on the same birthday.
Middle name, we're going to call him Stick if he's named. He's going to be the next Stick. Twig. We'll call him Twig.
We'll call him Twig. I like that one.
Do you have a name picked out, Joey?
So I got one that I'm thinking about. We're thinking about Jax.
I like that. With an X?
Yeah, Jax.
Damn, man, this kid's going to be a badass.
I know, but that's the thing, though. See, like Jax, he can't come out being a hairy-ass Chaldean dude like me because that just doesn't fit. He's got to have some swag to him, you know?
You know, give him the Jax Car Wash franchise, and you're off and running.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I called that, because it's all about the sponsorship deal.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all.
Call the owner of Jack's Car Wash, see if they'll sponsor your kid.
Yep. I'm trying to just get a Woodward sports deal through my kid.
Auctioning off his name to the highest bidder.
Self-awareness, bro. That's it.
If not, he's going to be called Super Car Wash.
Want to do a Name Joey's Kid sponsorship deal?
We definitely should.
Yeah, but then Dix is going to be the one that spends the most money.
That's all right.
So, well, you know what? Then you got a story.
Well, Joey, man, thanks for joining us. Just wanted to chat with you while you're on your break from beer cart girl duty.
Amanda's ready. I got to get going.
Yeah, you got to go, man.
I got to go.
She's getting impatient. So go over there and have some fun. That's Joey.
The man of all jobs.
Joey's the best, man. One of the best humans that I've ever met in my life, and so happy that we're able to work here together and be friends throughout all of this. And D-Mac always.
Now he's procreating. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Now there's going to be a baby Joey.
Wow.
I would have never thought Joey was going to have a kid before me, but damn, this is going to be fun.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. So getting back to the chat and getting back to what we were talking about, Malcolm Rodriguez, he was on the heavyweights.
That was a great interview those guys did.
It wasn't an interview. It was dudes hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I really loved about that interview. And apparently Spencer said that Sports Illustrated picked it up. And that's the type of vibe we want here at Woodward Sports, right? Like, we don't want athletes to come on here and be like, all right, here's 10 questions that we're going to ask you. They're going to be A, B, C. It's like, no, man. We want to know about you, the person. Then we'll get to you, the player, because they're both important. But who you are as an individual is almost more important, right?
Yeah, but absolutely. You know, anybody who knows, I got grind time with Darren McCarty. That's been on hiatus, and it's a lot of the same things. Is the questions about the people. You know, the people that you like and stuff like this. And these guys so that's where you see where the heavyweight heads are different. Now, there's always questions for athletes and stuff like this as far as the sports, but outside of the season and stuff like this, when these questions don't have to be added, and I'll give Easy and Spencer props because they were all over Malcolm from day one, as loving this guy, wanting to get to know him, knowing what he's all about in college and stuff like this. So it's about investing into the people, and the fact that when you can get it out, and it's like you said, it's just a bunch of dudes hanging out, having a conversation. I think that goes to what we want, to know. What have we enjoyed over the past few years?
Did you hear the backstory?
The personality about Sider and Kate Cunningham and getting to know our stars.
Did you hear the backstory about how they got Malcolm Rodriguez
I can just
on?
imagine.
Malcolm Rodriguez's mom follows the heavyweights on Twitter.
And they reached out to his mom.
They DM'd his mom. Like, sliding in the DMs of moms is what we're doing here at Woodward Sports. But, you know, can't argue with results.
Listen, do you know that the reason why Braylon's so astute as his hockey acumen is because his mom's a DMAC fan?
Really?
Yeah, so that's why he was raised properly.
Yep.
Big Stan and Mom raised him properly. I always have to tell him that. So, but let's look at that point. I'm proud of the boys for using the resources to reach out to start the conversation, and everybody's different, right? Everybody's look so when I say don't tell me what, tell me who, that's what it's about, because from watching that conversation or whatever you want to call it, it was about three guys having a good time, and I think I want to root more for Malcolm now.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it, make sure you go to the Woodward's Heavyweights page and check it out. The whole interview is up there. They're on 5 to 7 today as well, so go make sure you check out their show live. I mean, these are the young guns that are coming up. We were talking a little bit earlier about the Red Wings and the development camp. Like, the heavyweights are essentially the development camp here at Woodward Sports, along with Gentry and Jeff. Like, those are the guys that are next, and it's fun to see these guys just, like, being aggressive in this, because normally, if you don't know, like trying to talk to an athlete, you usually got to go through a publicist and through the team and through all these hoops to make it happen. But to be able to slide in mom's DMs and get the son on is like standing ovation.
Especially early before, because now you're not going to, because I'm sure the PR is going to now say, hey, everything's got to go through us.
Yep,
so,
they're going to be like, listen, don't be on the heavyweights
also
again.
too is shot out. To understand, you have to let everybody understand what you're about, right? So I think that people know, and I would encourage the Woodward Heavyweights to reach out to all the young guys in the town or on the team to build those rapport, because they've shown it. And it takes Malcolm Rodriguez, or a shout out to his mom, to hook that stuff up to show you what these guys are about. No matter who you're talking about at Woodward Sports, whether it's the next generation or whatever, everybody's got to figure out their lane and what is important to them.
Well, the heavyweights are definitely
knowing
unique.
them is that they're true to themselves.
Right.
What are they doing? They're out there sunbathing, they're drinking, they're doing their things, they're bringing the show to you in their way. This is their vision, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, to me, it's the new way. It's the way new media has to be. Like, this sitting in the studio, being all stuffy, sitting there with a tie and all that stuff, like, I ain't trying to hear that. I want to hear from people that I want to hang out with. You know, like,
it gives you options, Stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always to have options, and I'm like you.
Yeah,
I'm like you, and it's easier to cheer with, and when you get to know a little bit more behind the scenes of guys, and you know, the big thing where I contribute to that is you see the way that the curtain has sort of been pulled back from when we grew up with wrestling, with the kayfabe or whatever, is you get to why are people so into wrestling no matter what it is because you get to know these people more on a personal level and what they're all about, good, bad, or indifferent.
It's a soap opera. I mean, they do a great job of building the characters in wrestling. That's one thing that I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I can appreciate the soap opera that they built because I used to be a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah. Now with social media and stuff like that, it just expands on all that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Definitely
well, you know what else is awesome? Planet Fitness, and the summer of Planet Fitness is here as well. And if you're a high school kid, you can go work out for free all the way up until the end of August, which this is cool. So I see some teams going in and working out, getting their off-season workout in. And Planet Fitness, they're all about the community, and they're all about making sure you know your fitness is essential. And you can sign up today for just $10 a month. There's a Planet Fitness near you. I passed like 6 on the way out here today, so make sure you go to Planet Fitness today. $10 a month. Your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, listen, it's Monday. Nobody likes Mondays. Who likes Mondays? But hey, I tell you what we like. We like fun coupons. And we also like oddstrader.com. You guys get to go over to that app store and download it today. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get back to them winners. That's all we want. We want fun coupons. Listen, we're going to roll with our home team Tigers today. Daniel Lynch stinks. He hasn't won a game in his last 10 starts. Listen, sounds good to me. Tigers 7-3 last 10 games. Let's roll with it. Tigers, oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a big bog project coming up? Well, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Tell them D-Max sent you.
Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network.
Yeah, baby.
My name is Stick.
Crack that. Yeah.
We are hanging out at the DSFA golf outing, Detroit Sports and Media. Thank you guys for
partying. What? Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got about 19 minutes.
19 minutes.
19 minutes before we hit on what D-Mac's pulling out. It's the Woodward Sports Network. We're having a good time out here. Everybody's having a good time, raising money. There's a car that you can win. All the mascots for all the sports teams were out here earlier, which I'm a sucker for mascots. I absolutely love mascots.
That's good. Who's your all-time favorite mascot?
I love the tree from Stanford. The fact that there's just a tree that's always just walking around. And I think he got in a fight a couple years ago. And mascot fights are probably my favorite thing to happen in sports, period.
Mascot fight, mascot races, because you know somebody's going down. Somebody's going to take somebody out. My favorite, I'm English Bulldog owner, so Ugga. Of Georgia fame. I always love the different Uggas that they have. They just got
Ugga 8.
Ugga 8, but just like a serious, like Churchill's Bulldog. So
you remember when the Longhorn tried to attack Ugga? They had an actual Longhorn trying to attack Ugga.
That's always interesting too, because it's amazing how when you pull out live animals, either that or the Oklahoma Sooners doing the chuck wagons or stuff like this, that there's not as many. There are incidents, where you've seen video of it rolling over or something, but there's not as many incidents with live animals as maybe you'd expect.
Yeah, you see it with the Florida State guy, too, the Seminole coming out and, riding the horse. The horse never bucks him off, but you root for those things to happen. I root for chaos in those situations.
When they let the Eagles go and then you see them fly down. And, But I know this is a little off topic, the mascots, but is there anything better than the flyover at a live stadium?
No.
The flyover at a live event.
Especially when it's like a stealth bomber, too, when it flies over and then you don't hear it till, it's gone.
It's got, when you're watching it going here and then all the sound. Whoa.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorites.
To me, that just really, is just the flex of the United States. Listen, y'all don't even know what we really have. And, not that I encourage us going to war.
I hope it is.
Yeah, not that I encourage us going to war.
I hope it's a flex to everybody else every time we do a national anthem and that happens.
It should be.
Okay, right?
The last time we went to war, I was looking at all the weapons that we had on the list that we were using, and the thing that struck my eye the most is the United States has trained dolphins to sniff out underwater landmines. And, my immediate thought went to, thinking about, all right, when you were about to fight a dude, you wanted to, learn his weaknesses, his strengths, kind of how he was going to approach it. And I'm thinking, if I'm getting in a war with the United States and I'm just running down their list, all right, they got tanks, they got bombers, they got trained dolphins. They got dolphins? I'm not fighting these guys. They got trained dolphins.
Dolphins with lasers?
Freaking
That's
lasers.
the next thing. Lasers. Laser cannons on their head.
Worst mascot is Gritty by a mile, says the away fan. Yeah, I don't know about that. Do you have the mascot video in there from earlier? Westy played it. There's no sound on it, but all the mascots were out here earlier.
Money.
Yeah,
Dude,
Gritty's
Gritty
dope.
reminds me of the Muppets, and I think Gritty's money.
Yeah, but the DSMA did a chip contest, and
Sparty, Paws,
Ribby
Hooper.
won it. Yep, you got Sparty out there, like you said, Paws, Hooper, the Oakland Grizzly, the Lawrence Tech Devil is there.
I like that one.
The Beaver. But look at
Rory, how small he is.
I was going to say,
we got to beef up Rory. Maybe that's the problem.
He's small, but he's athletic.
Maybe we figured it out, folks. Maybe if our Lions Rory mascot was bigger, we'd play bigger.
There we go.
Let's go.
Well, Paws was here, and, we talked about the Tigers a little bit, but let's talk about Cabrera making the All-Star game.
Oh, you talked about the Tigers with Paws. What did he do?
Well, Adam asked him about Al Avila, and Paws just put his hands over his mouth.
Not allowed to talk.
Yeah, no, he's like, the gag order's in place.
Company guy.
He's on that payroll, baby. But what do you think about Cabrera making the All-Star game? I know some people are against it, thinking, hey, Flannel Sam would say, hey, I'm not a big fan of Lifetime Achievement Awards.
He took away somebody who's deserving spots. No, he was appointed by the commissioner along with Albert Pujols. I think the fact that they did them together, now Miguel hasn't been in an All-Star game in 6 years, since 2016 voted in. But this is sort of like one of the last hurrahs.
Right.
And the fact that they do Pujols too. The fact that they have a National League and an American League guy that represents sort of the last 20 years of baseball for us, I like it. The All-Star Game's a joke anyways. It so much it used to be. I liked it when they were fighting for...
Yeah, there's no Pete Rose running over the catcher in the All-Star game anymore, right?
No,
it's just a dumbed-down game.
This is more of, if you know how people like the swan song, the final year, the retirement thing.
Yep.
Well, this is one way to put it in. And I know Miguel's not retiring, but you know what? This is sort of his retirement go out by the league. And I think that they're doing it together with Albert Pujols. I wouldn't be surprised that Miggy saves one of his home runs for this game. You know what I'm saying? Like he does something.
That'd be great.
You know what I'm saying?
And honestly...
But I think he's sort of... It's a 3,000 hits. It's the RBIs. It's the what you've meant to the game. And I think that if it wasn't now, when are you going to do it? Next year, the year after, year after?
Right.
If he's going to do it now, at least, he probably can put the bat on the ball.
And they're probably going to honor him there, too. Recognize...
Right. I honor them both.
Right.
What they've put in, all the hits and stuff like this, so that works. It works for me.
Yeah, I'm happy he made the All-Star game, but, it's kind of sad just because the Tigers are in the position that they are, that we're kind of just sending a makeshift All-Star. Soto also made the team, but this isn't like when we were sending Prince Fielder, when we were sending Cabrera, when we were sending Victor Martinez, when we were sending Justin Verlander, Scherzer.
What are you talking about?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've said this before. I feel like we're back at the Damian Easley, Bobby Higginson days when it's like, we got to send somebody. Let's send Damian Easley. He's hitting almost 300.
Well, I think, you could all agree in a full season you're probably sending Riley Green. But, it is what it is.
Which, by the way, at the silent auction in here, I bid on a Riley Green signed ball and a ticket stub from his first game.
Ooh,
I know.
That could be worse.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, the Cabrera jersey's in there, and that's worth something already. But the Riley Green is almost like, I can get it cheap now and in like 20 years. Because Lynn Henning was on the bottom line, and he compared him to Al Kaline.
Wow.
Which...
Listen,
Lynn Henning knows he was around during Al Kaline, so he understands.
Take stock into the fact it comes from Lynn Henning, who was there with Al Kaline, and if he reminds him of that, then that's high praise, but that's praise from the one person. If there's a few people that could make that comparison,
right?
So I take stock into it, whether anybody else does or not.
I thought it was a bold ass statement, but I was like, all right. you know what? If Lynn Henning says so, I'm going to have to agree with it because he's forgotten more about baseball than I'll ever know.
It's more about it should hit you like Steve Eisman saying about
playing with boys.
Yeah, about a 17-year-old, about Marco Kasper, 17-year-old playing with men.
Yep.
It should. Hey, this guy, this is what he reminds me of, and I've seen him, and that because Lynn Henning first doesn't throw any compliments, short-sighted, and two, that's Al Kaline, and he holds him in high reverence. That's what I'm saying.
That's Mr. Tiger.
I'm just saying.
That's his nickname, Mr. Tiger. Like, there's no bigger name in Tiger's history.
Coming from me, hearing the certain things that I'll blow out you said, but the fact that Lynn Henning said that, it's like Mike O'Hare saying something about a football guy.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense, man. And it's awesome to hear that. It's nice that we got guys to root for like that. Congratulations to Miguel Cabrera and Soto for making the All-Star team. They're the right picks. I mean, there's nobody else on the team you would send. Maybe Scooble earlier in the season, but he's kind of botched that over the last couple starts. So either way, happy to have some people there, and I'm also happy to be double-fisting right now with some mulligans. My cheeks are getting a little red. That's how you know your boy's been getting that Irish tan. And here we go. Mulligans, 8% alcohol, and they come in these beautiful cans. They look good. They taste good. And on the course, there is nothing better than this. And you know what I like about them? They're not like carbonated like a bunch of those seltzer drinks. It's just a nice, smooth drink that you can have on the porch. You can have at the golf course. You can have. I had one after I cut my lawn yesterday. So. Yeah, you can have one on. You can have multiple on the live stream. Thank you, Gentry. The Mulligan. Go pick it up at a store near you. Iced tea, lemonade, and vodka, and they come in an assortment of flavors from Gypsy Vodka. Some of my favorite people.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Hey, what's going on? It's Stick telling you about the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, and they also are starting to have multiple locations around the state because this game is so fun to play. If you haven't been Fulling, make sure you go in Hamtramck. Actually, Chris Hutt is here, the inventor of Fulling. He is golfing right now. He said he's going to stop by with some pins, but there's a hole behind us that actually has a bowling pin in the middle of the fairway, and they're doing closest to the pin today. So Fulling here, and you should go Fulling in Hamtramck. We did a team outing there in November. Great time, great fun, and you can bring your own food, but they have the liquor provided for you. So make sure you go to the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck.
Don't forget the mystery beer.
Mystery beer machine. Billy D. Williams hitting you with that Colt 45 out of the mystery beer machine.
Can't get it anywhere around town. Except the mystery beer.
Is there anybody smoother than Billy D. Williams, too? I don't think so. Maybe Terry Foster, but outside of that, we're doing Ask D-Mac right now. So if you have a question for four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, put it in the chat right now on YouTube. The away fan is asking this. Ask D-Mac, how did you meet your wife, and how long before you knew she was the one?
Well, you got to remember that she was one of Cheryl with an S. McCarty was one of 5 people in Michigan who didn't know who I was. I met her in 2010 at up in Clare, Michigan, at a St. Patty's Day party. I was drinking back then. It was love at first sight for me, and about after the beginning of I always say January 1st, 2011 is when I've been on this journey with her. The one thing about my wife, which is she's a person that believed in me enough to love, that I should love myself enough to...
Can't replace that.
No, exactly, and here we are. So she's my best friend. She's the rock. She's the one person that is my ride or die. That's how I met my wife. It's been You know, so we got married April 2nd, the day after my 40th birthday in 2012. So
beautiful, man. That's awesome. That's a great story, man.
It is.
And I'm glad she's there for you like that. Like, sometimes people will only be with you because they think, like, this is who you are. I think she was with you because of what you can do.
Dude, put it this way, Stick. She didn't know what she got herself into, and I wrapped her in the vortex before it was too late.
But she saw that. She saw more in you.
Well, she saw the person, but listen, I don't mean to sound what it is, but I am Darren McCarty, and there's a lot of baggage that goes. It's not all bells and whistles, especially for people.
But you own it. You're self-aware about it.
Life,
right.
So she had to make as much to stick around. I give her enough credit. That's anybody who has. That's the compassion of a caregiver, right? She's a nurse by trade, neonatal. So, but yeah, God bless, because I wouldn't be here to this day if it wasn't for her.
All right, Mike G asking, D-Mac, who is your favorite center to play with ever, and why?
My favorite center to play with was Igor. You know, because the Igor, like, Drapes doesn't count. Because the grind line is its own entity, because that's sort of like strapping up and going to work, because that is your mission, right? When I got to play with Igor and Shanny or whatever, then it was a different mission where it was like, okay, don't be afraid to try to be more offensive. The grind line, it's defense first, protection first. Go out there, cause havoc, then chip it in. You know, like Drapes, it's too easy. Right, because Drapes and Malts, it's one wavelength. It's not even having to try to play, because
it's the same brain.
It's a different game.
Right.
So playing with Igor, it's a different game too, because it's all about, I tell anybody, just what, like Igor, keep your stick on the ice, and when you least expect it, expect it. That's the same if you're playing with anybody that plays competitive hockey.
I absolutely love this question from Eric Hill in the chat right now. Ask D-Mac, how can the Wings and the Tigers share the same ownership but have differing sustained success? That's an interesting question, isn't it?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I think it's a question that we all ask.
Right.
You know, and I think it goes, who's in charge? And not so in ownership and the GM, but who's really in charge making the decisions? Can we agree that when it comes to the Detroit Red Wings, Steve Yzerman is the end-all, be-all word of whatever? I think that was his agreement when he came back to Mr. and Mrs. Illich, or to Mrs. Illich, to Chris Illich, stuff like this. I think the other way around, that Chris Illich is the end-all, be-all, not Al Avila, because if it is Al Avila, why is it Al Avila? So
that is the question.
You know what?
I think that's the question everybody's asking.
Who asked that question?
What was his name? Where is it? Eric Hill.
Hey, Eric, when you find out, please let us know. Might have a job for you. But no, I mean, that's the big misnomer. How do you care so much about one and not care so much about the other, and just be so aloof?
Right.
See, I
always thought, like,
the aloofness of, great, they win games, they're doing this or whatever, but don't tell me the rebuild's over when I look in your cupboard and there's nothing there.
Right. Yeah, that
rebuild's
statement,
over,
that
you got
statement
Riley
will haunt
Green.
him forever.
But that's what I'm saying. So where's your self-awareness? So the fact that, so, hey, put it this way. LCA is going to be rocking sooner than later. LCA is going to be rocking sooner than later. Pistons and the Wings. It looks like Ford Field's on its way.
Comerica, we'll see. I like this question from Alex Haggerty. D-Mac, how many goals do you think you would have scored if you played with Pavel on the line? I'm assuming he's talking about Pavel Datsyuk.
20.
Yeah. How many goals what was your max goals in a season?
19.
He would have got you one more?
I would have got one more. No, I mean, if you played a whole season on a line with Pavel, I could score 30. 25, 30 in the old NHL back in the day.
And I love this from our very own Tom Mazaway.
Oh,
hey, Mac, what did you think of Maz on Unrivaled?
Yeah. Always,
Standing in the hallway.
you know what? Two things about Maz. Always food in his hand and always near a shitter. There you go.
I mean, they do go hand in hand.
They also do, but yeah, he was brilliant. The way he stood there every time and Scotty didn't push him, I mean, that's a testament in itself.
This is a strange question from Pat Riley. Ask D-Mac, were you afraid of strangers as a child? Also, a.k.a., were you shy?
No.
Never shy?
Absolutely not. Rhinestone Cowboy Sunday School, 4 years old. Let's go.
Right? Really?
Yeah.
That was
they
your
said,
talent
I want
show?
to sing a song. They said, we want to come up and sing a song. I thought they meant any song. I'm a rhinestone cowboy, riding up on my horse, Star-Spangled Rodeo.
When I was in 4th grade, they were like trying to kill time at a talent show or something like that. And they're like, if anybody wants to come up and do something, come on up. And I came up and I told this joke that I heard from my older nephew or my older cousin, and it was a very dirty joke, and I got a suspension.
Oh, nice.
But I told it in
How
front of
old
the
were
whole
you?
damn school. 4th grade, and I was young.
Nice.
So I was about 9 years old. 9 years old, my first suspension for telling dirty jokes on a microphone in front of people.
Yeah, but
I'll tell
that's
you guys
how you got
the joke.
legend status, though.
I'll tell you the joke
That's
after
how you
the
got
air.
legend status.
Yeah, well, it was well earned. All right, one more question for Ask D-Mac. Let me scroll through here. Just kind of put my finger down. Ask D-Mac, what you got rolled up? What strain?
What's that?
What strain you got in that tube?
Oh, this is the brand new, right? Heavyweight heads, Trick OG, which is triple gelato.
Ooh.
Gelato crossed 3 times. It is fire!
Yeah, and you know what?
Fire alarm, let's go.
It's about that time to make sure he's telling the truth. So shout out to Trick, Uncle Trick in
Absolutely,
the building.
always.
Dude, one of my favorite people in the city. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much. Yeah, people are asking me what's the joke. I am not putting that on film. I'm sorry. It's not going to be on the internet to live forever. It was a joke that, let's see, I was in 1990, it could be told. In 2022, I would be dead. So we're not telling that joke. But you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining us today at the DSMA Golf Outing. My name is Stick. That is D-Mac. The bottom line is up next, coming up from 2 to 4. And then don't forget, we got the heavyweights after that from 5 to 7. It's the Woodward Sports Network. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.